I play to figure things out. I play to learn something, right? Because I think if you play with a fear of failure, or you play with the will to win, or that supersedes the fear of failure, I think it's a weakness either way, right? Because if you play with the fear of failing, you'll have the pressure on yourself to play, to capitulate to that fear. If you play with the sense of I want to win, then you have the fear of what happens if you don't. But if you find common ground in the middle, in the center, then it doesn't matter. You're unfazed by either, right? And that enables you to really just stay in the moment, stay connected to it, and not feel anything other than what's in front of you. So I try to just be dead center.
So a lot of people in general are afraid of failure. How did you become one of those people who doesn't seem to be afraid of failing?
It doesn't exist. It's not existent. What the hell does that mean? Seriously, what does failure mean? It's not. It doesn't exist. It's a figment of your imagination.
This is Chris. Welcome to the world's first GYATT Fortnite podcast, where, and if Killswitch and Nolan Chance aren't related, then Fortnite owes me therapy sessions. What's going on? They look like twins. Technically, someone else might already have a Fortnite podcast, but in the spirit of Fortnite, and if nobody's gonna pick me up, I'll just crawl into this podcast and just pop a big pot of truth. This season is super. I mean, it's the best season in some time. If you're not queuing in Drip and Superhero Delusion, you're not doing Fortnite Season 3 right. Nothing says psychological warfare like chicken slippers and a mythic loadout. And if that doesn't make sense to you, then you clearly haven't been knocked and ignored by your own squad. Steady, steady. No, nothing is as sturdy as this hyper burst pistol with zero recoil that hits hard. Followed by nothing hits harder than a silence followed by your teammate grabbing loot off your body. We just came back from a galaxy far, far away. And the battle bus is coming in as an SUV to the item shop next update. And if you're ready, let's dive in. What Fortnite has been able to accomplish, it isn't just rare, it's revolutionary to rise from that beginning landscape that we all remember to become global. Something like this is virtually impossible, like the art on the walls of a museum. Fortnite's presence demands attention, and like a museum, this story is layered, bold, raw, and undeniably important. This is a conversation about transformation, legacy, and a creative power that comes from seeing beauty where others only see brokenness. This is Frequency, and this is episode 35, Transformation. I'm going to spend a lot of time looking at Fortnite's entrance into Season 3 alongside a whole series of changes that are happening all at the same time. Technically, we are getting more than we deserve. I'm just kidding. So, that's what we're going to do for today. Before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe. It has been my hope for these many months I've had the podcast and as many seasons as I've played Fortnite that people would find this channel/podcast to be a place of spiritual companionship. If you walk the hard, unpaved path in life, that this will be a place where you could refine and deepen that spiritual and philosophical side of life in Fortnite. So if that's the case and you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing it. It really helps us grow as a community. Before moving on, I just want to let our listeners know that we're currently trying to build our following on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Small, independent podcasts like this one need all the support we can get to survive. Sharing, liking, commenting on socials, and reposting on TikTok and X, and following on social media is greatly appreciated and help keeps this afloat during turbulent times. Thank you. You're listening to the GYATT Fortnite podcast. And this is Chris, where I once swore allegiance to Reload. And now I'm back in Battle Royale like I never rage quit a game in my life. Battle Royale, where gold bars vanish faster than friendships in creative. And I'm currently broke thanks to an NPC with grappler aspirations and no concept of economic balance. If you survive long enough to reach Robin, the NPC, you might get launched across the map by the most expensive grappler this side of tilted capitalism. Robin, if you're listening, I respect the hustle, but 600 gold for one piece of rope and a dream? That's highway robbery. Literally, because you'll fly across the map like you just committed a felony. I spent 600 gold on a grappler, missed a shot, launched into a tree, and still came out of the match screaming, "Fortnite is back!" Fortnite finally gave us what we've been begging for: movement and myth in the same update. Something happened this season. I touched grass, or at least the new grass texture in Utopia City. This place is a glow up. It's what Seaport City wished it was. Movement friendly, weirdly vertical, and filled with enough lore NPCs to make me feel like I walked into a Fortnite soap opera. Utopia City is giving futurism and is built like the devs listened to parkour TikToks on loop and decided to design a POI in the middle of a caffeine overdose. It's fast. It's vertical. It's vibey. I dropped there once and haven't touched Reload since. Utopia City is what happens when creative kids get jobs at Epic and say, let's make this map vertical enough to confuse birds. I haven't touched Reload in days. If you even say respawn timer around me right now, I flinch. Anyway, I haven't played this much Battle Royale in months. Reload? Never heard of it. Who's she? And look, I've been Team Reload all year, but this might be the first season where Zero Build Battle Royale pulled me back with no warning. I logged on to warm up and ended up base boosting and diving out of the way for a win. I didn't choose this life. It pinged me. But let's talk about it. This new season, fire, like actual fire. We've got bullet time in the middle of fights. I'm using it to line up disrespectful shots on players who think Seaport City was better than Utopia City. You were wrong, by the way. The Killshot revolver has me slowing down moments like I'm about to monologue over a highlight reel with cutscenes, doing dramatic camera angles and whispering, they never saw it coming, turning every mid-fight into an Oscar-worthy performance. Bullet time in Fortnite is a power move I didn't know I needed. I hit one headshot in slow motion and started reconsidering my real-life decisions. If this season ends, listen up, Epic, with a Max Payne collab, I'm calling it now. I'm narrating my eliminations in slow-mo until someone uninstalls the game out of respect. Meanwhile, Epic is out here cooking up bundles so hot they come with backstory. Maskmaker Daigo and Mercenary Core. So, if you're looking for calm commentary, you've entered the wrong rift. This episode's coming in hot. No heels. Full send. Let's talk before the storm closes and I get eliminated for being dramatic in the open again. So, grab your gold, fake your confidence, and slow down time. We've got stuff to break. Welcome to the GYATT Fortnite podcast, where transformation doesn't come with a progress bar. It comes like a reboot van you didn't ask for, during a storm you weren't ready for. This episode is called Ketsu, or Transformation. And I want you to know right now, this isn't a lecture. This is an exhale. This is a falling off. This is the point in the game where something that used to define you just slips. The name Ketsu comes from Vedic astrology, an invisible planetary point, not a planet you can see, not a force you can touch. It's the tail of the dragon, the part that's already been burned through, a symbol of release, detachment, transformation, and the feeling of no longer belonging to what used to matter. Now, what does that have to do with Fortnite? Everything, because Season Super just dropped. And if you've played even 5 minutes of it, you already know what this episode is about. It's not just about changes. It's about mutation. It's about realizing the version of yourself that knew how to play Fortnite last week doesn't exist anymore. Ketsu is the perfect name for this season, not because Fortnite told a cosmic story or snuck some mythology into the item shop, but because this season feels like the south node of the game's own chart. It's letting go of old power, old identity, old attachments. And if you can't let go, the game will do it for you. Let's talk about how it hits. You drop in. Your muscle memory is already confused. Your boost jump launches you like a rocket. You wall dash without meaning to. You don't have time to think, to build, or to even land properly. This isn't a mobility update. This is a physics shift. Fortnite is no longer ground-based. It's speed, momentum, fluidity. You don't move, you burst. You don't shoot, you launch. It's thrilling. It's disorienting. It's the kind of disconnection that's not even emotional. It's physical. Your hands are doing things your brain hasn't caught up to yet. That's Ketsu, the detachment from the known.
Anyway.
The moment you realize you're still alive, but you're not quite sure where yourself is. You might think you're just adjusting to mechanics, but what you're really doing is grieving your instincts. The things that used to win games are now liabilities. Clinging to the old you doesn't save you, it gets you eliminated. You can't outbuild this season. You can't outcamp it. You can't even outsmart it. The only way to survive is to become a player you've never met before. The only way to move forward is to leave something behind. And yeah, it hurts because Fortnite used to feel like home. And now, well, now it feels like you're crashing at someone else's house. The furniture is weird. The loot pool is aggressive, very aggressive. The audio is louder. The fights are vertical. And the weapons, like the kill switch revolvers that slow down time and give you unparalleled movement, are unrecognizable. And if you stop moving, you're dead. But maybe, just maybe, that's what makes it beautiful. Because Ketsu doesn't show up when you're comfortable. It shows up when you're done. When there's nothing left to be gained from the way that you used to play. When you're finally ready to be reborn through a different kind of lobby. It's not just the weapons. It's not just the map. It's not even the new animations or the anime-infused power-ups. It's the feeling that the floor beneath Fortnite has shifted into something less like terrain and more like quicksand. You can't predict it. You can't lean on it. You can only keep moving, keep adapting, keep shedding the skin you thought was yours. And that's where the brilliance of Season Super really kicks in. Because it's not designed to reward your past. It's designed to dissolve it. It wipes the slate clean, not to erase you, but to invite you to rebuild. Not from memory, but from presence. And kudos to Epic for an amazing Battle Royale season that I know Season 3 is about to be. You can fight that. You can hate it. Or you can do what Ketu asks. You can let go. You can stop pretending this is about getting back to something. Because the truth is, there is no going back. That loadout you loved, gone. That strat you mastered, irrelevant. The friends you queued with, maybe they're offline. And the game doesn't care. It's not being cruel. It's being honest. The storm moves on, and you have to move with it. This brings us to the weirdest part of it all. How powerful this season makes you feel, while also making you feel completely out of place. You're chain walling kicks into jump slams. You're doing things that would have gotten you laughed at in any other meta. But now it works. Now it's meta. And you feel like a god until you don't. Until you win a fight and feel nothing. You weren't thinking. You weren't planning. You were just reacting. And maybe that's not adrenaline anymore. Maybe that's disconnection. Maybe you're not playing the game. Maybe the game is playing you.
Anyway.
Welcome to the headspace of Ketsu, where you're present but not anchored, skilled but not secure, alive but floating. This is where Fortnite becomes a meditation, not because it's peaceful, but because it requires your full surrender. Surrender to speed, surrender to change, surrender to the idea that you are not your old self anymore. You're not the sniper main. You're not the build warrior. You're not the guy who lands Mega City every time because he likes the soundscape. You're someone else now. You just haven't named them yet. And that brings us to a familiar segment. Yes, it's time. This season didn't just shake our mechanics. It shook our identity. And identity loss, that's Ketu's territory. It removes attachments, not to hurt you, but to show you what's underneath. And sometimes what's underneath all our builds and edits and signature drops is confusion. And that's okay. That's part of it. That's growth. But when you let go of being good or consistent or cracked, you finally make room for something more powerful, authentic play. Now, let's go even deeper. In the language of astrology, Ketu always travels opposite Rahu. Rahu is obsession. Ketu is surrender. And if Rahu was our grind set mentality, the crowns, the clips, the glory, then this season feels like Ketu stepping in and saying, now what? What are you chasing? Why are you playing? Who are you trying to impress? Because there are no spectators anymore, only mirrors. And you're looking straight into one, mid-wall kick, wondering if this whole match even matters. But then something happens. You stop chasing. You stop caring about the win. You stop caring about your crown rank or your locker skin or your placement. And weirdly, you start playing better. I admit, I immediately started playing better in Battle Royale the minute this season started. It put me in a very uncomfortable place, but as uncomfortable as I was getting, the better actually I was playing. And you know what? I started laughing again. You start laughing again. You do something dumb and creative. You bounce yourself across half the map with an impulse grenade and base booster gauntlets just to see if it's possible. You try a loadout that makes no sense. You survive a fight with 1 HP and don't even remember how you got out of it. That's not luck. That's detachment. That's Ketu handing you your power back the moment you stop begging for it. And suddenly, you're not floating anymore. You're surfing. You're not numb. You're free. Because the final trick of Ketu is this: what feels like detachment is actually transformation. What feels like loss is actually liberation. And this season, it's not punishing you, it's preparing you, not for a return to the past, but for a new relationship to the now. Maybe Fortnite Super isn't trying to be the future. Maybe it's just showing us what the present looks like when we stop clinging, when we stop demanding that the game bend to our preferences, when we let ourselves get weird, get broken, get new. The truth is, this season isn't soulless. It's just sold differently. Did you like the way I used that word? And maybe that's the point, because the deeper truth is, you've changed too. And every time the game resets, it's inviting you to notice, to respond, to evolve. So, no, Ketu isn't here to comfort you. It's here to burn off the parts of you that can't go forward. It's here to dissolve the identity that only functioned under old rules. And Fortnite isn't scared of that process anymore. The question here is, are you? Because this isn't a season built for people who want to go back at all. This is so new. Everything, every facet of it is so new. This is like a head-on collision, so to speak. It's a season built for people who I feel are willing to jump high, to jump fast, uncomfortably into a version of the game and themselves that they've possibly never seen before. The kill switch revolvers are by far the best addition to Fortnite in chapters, I feel. It's so great. Let go of what you thought Fortnite was. Let go of who you thought you were in Fortnite. There's nothing wrong with being lost. Just don't stay that way out of fear. Ketsu's not the end. It's the threshold. The map is still loading. The game is still speaking. And this time, it's speaking in your language. You just have to be willing to listen. GYATT out. This is Chris. Thanks for tuning in to the world's first GYATT Fortnite podcast. Until next time, keep your shields up, your emotes ready, and remember, it's all about how you see the game. And that's been episode 34, Transformation, Ketsu. I love this new season. I haven't played Battle Royale like this in some time, probably since about chapter 4. Just back to back matches, literally. I'm absolutely loving it. I am playing Reload as well. And I'm hoping that the item shop has a lot more to offer than superhero skins coming soon. I did hear about the Father's Day collab, and I hope we do get some of the cartoon fathers in our lockers pretty soon. And if you'd like to follow the GYATT Fortnite podcast, you can on TikTok at GYATT Fortnite podcast. And on X at GYATT Fortcast. And if you'd like to buy me a drink, maybe some water, a cup of coffee, you definitely can. You could definitely support this podcast. You're supporting me. And you can on Cash App at $Chris Freshier. Information is in the show notes. What else can I say? Epic knocked it out of the park. They took 1 month off. They're making sure that their creatives and their developers have a beautiful summer before it's time to lock back in. What a way to do it. Just amazing. And I'll see everybody soon.